Okay. Is there anything about your childhood that you could have or would have changed?
But yes, I would change that I was spoiled to a certain degree. See, when you come home to a home cooked meal every day, well, not every day, majority of days, when you come home to love every day, when you come home to, hey, how was your day at school today? When you come home with not taking a child's word for it, my grandma would go over the homework till it got to the point where, the algebra and all that came into play. Back then they didn't teach them that, so she, excuse me, she was lost. But what happened is I came home to a loving household every day. I came home to education every day. I came home to discipline every day. I came home to, I had to iron my own clothes. By the age of 12, I know how to cook a Sunday dinner. Not because she was sorry. My grandma wanted us to be independent. See, when you come home to teaching and loving and caring, that's the best thing you can have. That was the best part about my childhood. I came home to all that. And watch this. When I went to the other households, it was the same thing. Only difference was my grandma was a dictator. Back then, I wish it was open to democracy, but no. I benefit from her being a dictator. It wasn't no debate, wasn't no asking questions. This is what you're gonna do, this is how it's gonna happen, and that's the way it is. Thank you, Grandma. Appreciate that. Help me in my future. Love you for that.
Okay. You've talked about, your grandmother, your uncle, auntie, brother. You talked about a lot of people that have had an influence or impact on your life. Could you tell us about the impact Jackie D had on your life, and also about him losing his mama?
Well, he didn't have no impact on my life per se because we was the same age. Okay. But when he lost his mother, I never seen nothing worse in my life. He went from having his mom in his life to being around friends who had that. He bounced around from him and his brother bounced around from house to house, family to family. I never seen nothing like that in my life. I don't want to sound insensitive, but I think he died that same day his mother died. Miss Sally tried to give him a safe haven in the house, but he lost. I mean, I can only give my opinion, but I could say for the longest 90% of him, he was dead. He was mentally dead when he lost his mother. That affected me because when it was time for people to say, I gotta go home, my mama expect me to be home. My grandma said be home by such and such. The look on his face, it bothered me. It bothered me to the fullest. When you go from seeing your mama every day as a young man to she's gone, nobody don't tell you exactly what happened. Now people saying it's gonna be okay. But how can you tell a young man or a young lady that early in life that it's okay? You can't. It's unexplainable. See, when you ain't lost nobody, you can't tell nobody. I didn't lose my mother. I didn't lose my grandma, my aunts, whatever. I lost a part of him because he lost himself. Not that he did wrong. Jackie D, I'm gonna say this to you from the bottom of my heart, my brother. I don't know if you have, but I think you might want to get counseling. Let it out. If anybody was a case to be a drug head or a junkie of some sort, he probably would have been one. Him and his brother Patrick. I don't know if they had breakdown moments, but Jackie D, I'm proud of you, man. I really wish you wouldn't have lost your mother, but it's unfortunate. But I know how much that damaged. Stay strong, brother. You have been so far. I love you, man. Stay strong, brother.
Okay. What does the school system need to overhaul the most?
education is overrated. Unless you're educating. See, education is overrated. Because take a male athlete. He playing sports. And let's be realistic, teachers. Y'all know he don't belong to some of them level 3 classes, them AP classes, them college preparatory classes. Y'all know this, I know it. Even he knew it. His mom and daddy knew it. The community knew it. But what do? They want him out there on Friday nights. You think they gonna give him an A on Tuesday morning? You think they gonna pass that test Wednesday afternoon? You think somebody else ain't gonna do their homework and turn it in for? So what we gotta do is just eliminate that athletic premise of we gotta make sure they're on Friday nights or basketball games, whatever sport you may play. What we need to do is also overall, what is the teacher's mentality? If a teacher found out a factory worker making more than them, where you think their mind gonna go? They gonna go now, I don't care mode. When the same teacher that teaches at Thomasville High and teaches at Central, say if let's just picture a number out there, they making $45,000 apiece. A teacher at Brookwood making $75,000. You think that teacher gonna be in the teaching? No. See, I was once told that if you go in your classroom and you be the class clown, always getting in trouble, that teacher more likely ain't gonna have no leeway with you. Go in that classroom and be quiet. Don't cause no problems. Ask the teacher, can you help me? They gonna help you or they gonna help you. See, it's two helps. It's the help where they go over the homework with you, or you need 3 points to pass, they'll pass you because you ain't causing no problems. That's number one in the education system. Number two, we got to bring back the mentality that every child is not on the same learning curve. You could take 3, 4 children from the same parent. Say 3 of them smart. The other one might not be as smart. Or by the time you get to that 4th child, you figure that child gonna get his schoolwork too. So you don't check up on them. Now they flunking. First thing you wanna do good when school call you, go in there and yell. But here's to the school system. Stop waiting till a child flunked or flunking to do something about it. If that child average dropped to a 75, the school should notify the parent and come up with a game plan how to get them up 80 or above. Don't wait till they got a 65 or 59 average. It may be too late then, but we don't want to get them that far in the hole. So throughout this process, at the end, you're going to see me come up with a system, and I will put it on YouTube, how to better the school system. And guess what? I'm going to give you this information for free because I'm trying to better the children, not the system. So if I could get the child to think, then it'll be better. And ending this, I was in jail down there in Tallahassee, and a man, we was calling Wolf. And Wolf seen me, and the one day I was reading a book. He said, man, what you thinking about? I said, man, my son need me in the 11th grade. I said, it's a crucial moment in his life, my other 2 children younger. He said, well, how's his grades? I said, that ain't the problem, he do good in school. He said, so what's the problem? I said, I want him to be able to focus. See, anybody could pray. I pray, God, please let my child pass. Make my child get an 80 so he can pass. No, pray that they focus. Pray that they can study. Pray that they don't get distracted. That's what the school needs. No distractions, focus, and the ability to ask questions for those that don't have the information. If you don't know something, just ask a question.
Okay. Why do you feel rich people don't care about poor people's problems, even though some of their family members are poor as well?
Everybody got the mindset of, I'm good, I'm doing good, I'm successful. First of all, success is based on what you think. Second of all, see, poor people are not poor in the mind. They just financially ain't on top. You see? There's a difference between financially poor and mentally poor. I know a lot of people just like me, mentally rich but financially poor. My greatest aspect is being rich. I'm richer than anybody you know to me. You're richer than anybody I know to you. So poor people have the biggest problem is they trying to make more money. Rich people have that same problem because they try not to do the rich person. But they just don't care simply because they feel like it don't affect them. Which they should be the opposite because guess what? Rich people, you got people in your family that's on the bottom. If you so rich, lend them a financial helping hand. Reach down there and pull them from the bottom. Y'all can live comfortable in the middle. All y'all. There's enough room in the middle. But you won't because you want to pick at people. You want to look down on people. In closing, my grandma once told me, she said, son, she told me and my brother, she said, son, now remind you, it's 8 grandchildren, but she said, son, remember, don't let nobody look down on you. Don't you look up at nobody. Always see everybody eye to eye. If you could treat everybody eye to eye, you ain't got no business worried about nothing in this world. So to America, for those in foreign countries, those domestic, treat everybody equal, and you'll be able to sleep better at night. Thank you.
All right. And what do you feel are some differences in community service in the black community versus the white community?
Well, for those out here in Thomasville and Thomas County, they got this annual show called Roll Show. And during Roll Show, they have people picking up around the town. They want to clean up the community. That's the only time you see the parks in the black community where they pick up and clean up, just in case some people from out of town was to visit that park. See, parts of town matter. I done seen people do community service over there by Jurga, Scott, Harper. You ain't see them at Balfour. See, we must understand one thing. When it comes to community service, it's called community. And what do community people do? Serve. They ain't serving the rich people because guess what rich people do? Throw some trash in rich people's neighborhood. See how fast the police get there. But throw it in the hood. They don't care. Matter of fact, the police probably throwing trash in the hood themselves. Why you think they take their drugs there? They take drugs and drop them off in the black community because they want us to kill each other. But what do white people do? They'll call the police. I'll get a little further. Go to a park and see a homeless person sleeping out there. A black person call them, they ain't paying no mind. Let a white person go out there and say they sleeping on the bench. What do? Oh man, police coming right away and telling me they might even arrest the person that's sleeping out there. We must communicate. All the community. Clean up the whole town. Don't just be selective in what neighborhoods you pick.